Potter Fire Panel programming software works with the following panels: the PFC-6006, the PFC-6030, 6075, 6200, 6800, and 6075R, as well as all of the Potter Plus panels. All of the panels program the same, so once you know how to use the software, you'll be able to program any of those panels. The software can be found on our website, www.pottersignal.com. When you access the website, click on Documents and Resources, and then click on Software. When that page opens up, the programming software is the PFC-6000 series configuration software. You can either download the executable file or the zip file. It also gives you the current version of the software. At any time, you can always come to our website and check the current version. If it's a newer version than what you have on your computer, you can always download the software and it'll update the software you have on your computer. All old programs will open up in the new software. Once the software is loaded on your machine, if you've saved it in the default location, you can find it in your program files. Look for a folder that is called Potter. Click on that and you'll find a link for the Potter Fire Panel Programming Tool. If you'd like to create a shortcut on your desktop, simply drag the link onto your desktop, which will drop a link on your desktop. Then the next time you want to start the software, you can simply click on the link and that will start the software. When the software opens up, you'll notice several icons at the top of the screen, some menu options, and the transfers window. We're going to walk through each one of these things so you know how to interface with the software. The first thing we're going to look at is Help. If you go to Help, you'll find About, and this is going to tell you the current version of software that you're running. You can always go to our website, www.pottersignal.com, to find the latest and greatest version. All programs are backward and forward compatible and can be opened up in any version of software. When you load a new version of software, it will simply update the version that you currently have installed on your computer. The next thing we'll go to is Options. Under Options, you'll find Communication. And in Communication, you can set up the options for communicating with a panel over a modem. The default transfer medium is set up as IP. If you plan on communicating with a panel through the IP connection or the PCOM connection, you'll leave that as default. The only reason you'll need to go in here to set up any of these settings is if you would plan on communicating with a panel over a modem. Next, under Options, we have Registration. The default is PFC. As you can see on mine, we have PFC-R. This allows me to program the releasing panels. You can simply add an R to your registration code to access the releasing panels programming software. Lastly, under Options, we have Preferences. This allows you to select a folder where your files will automatically save when you upload them to the programming software. As you can see here, I have them going to a folder in my documents called PFC Programs. To create a folder, you can just simply click on Select Folder, and this is your menu tree, and you can go ahead and find a spot on your computer that you'd like to create a folder. I simply went to My Documents, and I said Make a New Folder, and I named it PFC Programs. Whenever I upload a program, it automatically saves it in that location. At any time, I can always do a Save As on any of the programs I have open and save that file anywhere on my computer that I choose. The next option we have at the top is File. If you go to File, you'll have some options for starting a new program or a blank program, opening up an existing program, and you'll see a list of programs that you've recently been working on. If I select New, it'll show me the panels that I can program using this programming software, and I can start a new program for any of these panels by simply clicking on them and selecting OK. We're going to next take a look at the icons that run across the top in the upper left-hand corner. The four icons on the right allow for different print options. For example, if I have a program open and I wanted to print a points list from the Points tab, with this tab open, I can simply select to export this to Word. I can also export this to Excel, or I could simply print the list to a printer by selecting the icon on the left. Once I have this option open, I have different features for selecting either Portrait or the default, which is Landscape. Landscape actually fits all of the data on the page, so that tends to work better. I can also export it to Excel and Word inside this part of the application as well. If I want to print this, I can select print, and then it will allow me to select a printer to send this to, printing a nice points list for the programming software. This icon allows you to print a selected group of things. So for example, if I just wanted to print the NAC circuit characteristics, I could highlight them by left clicking on the top and then dragging my arrow down to the bottom and selecting all of the power supply points, so I have a selected grid, and then when I click on this icon, it's just going to print that information. So if I want to select just a portion of the list to print, I can do that and use this icon here to just print that section. Now these icons I'm demonstrating just in the points list. These features are the same for any part of the programming software where you can export the data to Word, Excel, simply send it to a printer, or print a selected portion of what you're looking at. The next set of icons to the left allow you to communicate with the fire alarm panel. The first one in the middle allows you to upload or pull out the detector sensitivity from the panel and create a sensitivity report. You then have the ability to upload the history or pull the history out of the panel and create a history report. This icon allows you to pull the program out of the panel, so you will upload the program or pull the program out of the panel. This is usually done after you've run the Learn at the fire alarm control panel, or any time when you want to make changes to the existing program. The icon furthest to the left is the icon that allows you to download a program into the panel. So when you have a program created, or you have changes made to a program that you'd like to send to the panel, that's the icon that you choose. On any of these, when you select them, it's going to bring up the transfer menu. It's going to fill in the transfer type that you selected. In this case, I selected detector status. It allows you a spot to put a name in. You can put any name you'd like in there that's easy for you to identify the file. It asks you to fill in the username and password. The default username and password for our panels is Potter. This can be changed in the programming software. You then move down to the transfer via, or the transfer median. The default is IP. If you are connected with an Ethernet cable from your computer to the fire alarm control panel, you'll be using IP. The only time you would change this is if you are using a modem on your computer and dialing to the UD1000 that is installed in the fire alarm control panel. When using IP, there's a spot for entering the IP address or the panel name. If you are direct connected and have not assigned a static IP address to the panel, this is the IP address that you should enter. You can also try the panel name, and the panel name is found on the heatsink inside the fire alarm control panel on a sticker that's going to start with PFC-6000, PFC-6075, whatever the part number is. Once you have that information filled in, you can go ahead and select OK. Once you say OK, whether it's uploading a detector status, a history, or the program, or even downloading, it will file it in the transfers window down below. You can see at the top here it says status, and it is complete. To open up this file, I simply double-click, and it will open up the file in the programming software window. Going back to those print options, if I wanted to print this for a detector sensitivity report, I could print it to Word, Excel, or I could print the document straight to a printer. You can have multiple tabs open at a time, so if I wanted to upload the history at this point, I could go to the icon that allows me to upload the history, select that icon, again name the file if I wish to, put in the IP address or the panel name, and hit OK. And again, I can find that file down in the transfers window right at the top. It says history complete. I can double click on that to open that up, and I have pulled the history out, the entire history that's inside the panel. I pulled that out into this program here. I can then again print this to Word, Excel, or just print it to a printer. When uploading the program, it's going to say transfer type as an upload. Again, you can name it, username and password, typing in the IP address or the panel name, selecting OK, and this will upload. Then this transfer type is in your transfers window. It'll say upload complete. You've got double click on this, and this will open up the program that you pulled out of the fire alarm control panel. At this point, you can make changes to the program. Each one of these menu options on the left has an associated training video. Please refer to that video for information on these menu options. Once you have made changes to the program and you are satisfied with the program and wish to download it, that's when you would click on the icon furthest to the left, the download configuration file, and it would bring up the transfers window again. It would say download. It has captured the current program that you have open, so it's put that file in there with its file name, your username and password, and it's captured the panel's name. At this point, you can simply hit OK, and the program will download into the fire alarm control panel. Again, there are training videos for each option in the menu list that can be found on our website. Please refer to those videos for details on each section of the programming software.